So we are the superficial substantive team. We're going to do a slightly different approach. Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Mala. Today I'm here as the newest employee of this amazing disruptive company called Pump It Up. We are a company here to solve Africa's water problem. Essentially, we are Amazon meets smart water, but for Africa. So our inspiration really got started through our founders who went on an amazing trip to Ethiopia, which is in Africa, where they saw a lot of poor people, and they realized that if they could just bring their superior tech and business skills to the country of Africa, that they could profit and do good at the same time. So they decided to jump on the millennial Africa bandwagon. Now the problem is quite simple. You know, we here in the States, we have a lot of tech that makes us feel empty, but we deserve fulfillment. And you know, it manifests in the way that we have a lot of apps that are beautiful but have no meaning. And then them on the other side in Africa, nonprofits make problems so complex and overwhelming. I mean, it's painful to solve Africa. And as a result, they build a lot of apps that are ugly, and they do have meaning. So we decided that the problem really lies in the fact that there are just no beautiful apps to solve Africa. So we came up with a great solution. Why don't we have people use an app, a beautiful app, to buy parts or a complete water pump, ship it over to Africa, and then watch a live feed of it actually solving the problem? We decided that the most important thing was, you know, to focus on the people that really matter when solving Africa, you guys. So in our app, we wanted to make sure through Maslow's hierarchy of needs, because obviously that's the best way to break down human existence, that we got every single piece of Maslow's, you know, incorporated into our app. So everything from the physiological with the beautiful user experience all the way to self-actualization with solving Africa. And every layer in between, we made sure to get it in our app. The market size is amazing. There's 75 million American millennials with smartphones and without any meaning in their lives. There are 250 million Americans who earn more than $24,000 a year, which, you know, is abject poverty, but that still means they could buy a piece on our app. And globally, there's 1 billion people that fit into our target demographics, not to mention 300 million thirsty Africans. So why now? Our market research shows that people are looking to find themselves, and Africa is a great place to do that, but it's scary and it's costly to go to Africa. Plus, millennials want to save lives directly. They don't want to deal with the bureaucracy. Who does? So this is our app to solve Africa. So we have an amazing user experience here. You can put your username in there. You can configure your share settings, because that's what really people care about. Direct integration with Venmo, for instance. Then you can customize different parts. You can pick the sizes that you want, kid, parent, village. If you want, you can even engrave it. So, dear Africa, you're welcome. Enjoy drinking water and stuff. You can also put a chrome finish on the parts, because that's really what makes the difference. Then, of course, once you finish it, you can see it saving Africa. Isn't that amazing? So, I mean, we've got everything for you. Just want to go through our amazing team that built this. Jay Connor, Harvard MBA, global nomad. Molly O'Donnell, marketing director, Wharton MBA, just to diversify. Equestrian enthusiast. Cody Wyatt, lead developer, Stanford dropout, craft beer savant. We feel like this team just really reflects the diversity of what's needed to solve Africa. Thank you. Just kidding, in case you didn't get it. So we're the superficial substantive team. I'm a technology for international development practitioner. My name is Mala, by the way. This is Linda, a colleague of mine who's also an ICT4D, and Ali, our wonderful ThoughtWorks piece, one of the 2 developers that helped build our VR experience, and she'll talk a bit about that later. Linda and I focus on the role of technology, and we wanted to explore the idea of superficial substantive technology through 2 different ways. One is a deep understanding of superficial problems overshadowing real problems being addressed, and I think Linda will talk a bit more about that. And then the second one, which you saw here, is a superficial understanding of real societal problems overshadowing real solutions being addressed. So what do we talk about when we talk about these apps? We talk about the positioning, the user experience, the design. Meanwhile, we have no idea what it actually takes to solve Africa. So I'll pass over to my colleagues now.
Sure. So a couple things you might be aware of that you might have seen in the past. For example, Save Darfur. You might have seen things like Coney 2012. You might see a lot of really cool apps coming out recently where there's tons and tons of funding that's invested in creating apps like, we can deliver I don't know, like Snapchat. Some people might see meaning in Snapchat. I find meaning in Snapchat because I connect with my 2 teenage millennial children through Snapchat. But how much money is spent in marketing and developing and advertising something like Snapchat versus investment that's made in solving some of the other really difficult problems in our group we talked about. For example, what if the 911 system in the United States, had the same type of technology that you have with Uber? So what kind of investment are we actually putting into solving real problems in our society versus these kind of superficial apps? And so that's what we wanted to address. And so we've got kind of 2 sides of the project. We've got the app side, kind of a sarcastic app, and then we also wanted to create something in VR that would help people maybe understand what could be the consequences of someone donating to a superficial type of app like that and being able to choose particular parts to donate and things like that. And so I'm going to pass over to Allie, who did all the really amazing tech work in VR with Leo.
So we made a VR application, Unity project using the HTC Vive, and like Linda said, you basically are put in the shoes of the receiving end of this application and given a chance to kind of see how that may feel being a part of these kind of organizations who are trying to make an effort, and the kind of resources that they might receive or not receive that they need. Yeah, it was really a good time making this application. I hope you check it out. We basically used a Newton VR library that does object physics, and we created an experience where you just get to manipulate objects and try to build this water pump.
So come check out our VR after all the presentations. You can download our artistic statement. You can download the app, the prototype, play around with it, make fun of it, all that great stuff. Thank you.